today's video I have a talk through a drugstore tutorial. I only used one non-drugstore product and two non-affordable products, so that was my Anastasia Dip Brow and these Esquito lashes are not drugstore, and I also used a Morphe eyeshadow, which is super affordable but it's just not drugstore. But other than that, this entire look is drugstore makeup, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I kind of geared towards a very kind of natural, bright-eyed, very summery type of fresh look. If you are interested in checking out how I got this makeup look, then make sure to keep on watching. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to take this Baby Skin Maybelline Instant Pore Eraser Primer, and I'm just going to put that all over. I actually do really like this primer. It's pretty thick, so you do have to kind of like warm it up in your hands first and then apply it. So for foundation, I have two of my favorite drugstore foundations, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me's. I have the Matte and Poreless, which I love, but I also have the Hydrate and Smooth. I figured I might use the Hydrate and Smooth today on camera for you guys because I don't think I've ever used this on camera, or maybe once. But anyways, I love both of these. I think for today I'm going to do the Hydrate and Smooth. It gives you a little bit of a nice, natural, like dewy finish, so I might go for that. It's funny because this foundation actually reminds me a lot of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I just find it's a lot more fuller coverage than that one. For concealer, I want to use one of my favorite drugstore concealers, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20. And I'm just going to put that underneath the eyes to highlight, and also down the center of my face. I think for today I want to do a really like kind of, not natural, but just a really soft, like pretty summer look. To blend that out, I'm going to take my G2 brush by Morphe. Now, although my face does look really dewy, I think I'm going to do like more of a dewy look for today. So I might kind of try to work with that. I think I'm just going to set certain areas of my face that do tend to get pretty oily, but for the most part I'm going to leave my face unset with powder, but we are going to set with a spray just so that my oily skin is under control. But we're going to kind of try to stay away from too much powders for this look. So as you guys know, recently I bought the L'Oreal True Match liquid version and the powder version, but I tried the powder version on camera and it was a complete fail. I honestly really dislike it. So I'm going to go ahead and try out the liquid version here on camera and see if I like that. It is so beautiful. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's so beautiful. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put it on the cheeks. Just right in that area. So it's pretty, but I think I need more product. I'm also going to apply it on the top here. I don't really see that it really does much, so I'm not sure how I feel about this product. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and I'm just going to set the under eye because of course we don't want that area to crease up. But I'm not going to bring it too further down because I still want those cheekbones to kind of glow a little bit. I am going to also set the sides of my nose, not the top, but just the side. And I might just kind of go over with whatever's left over on the brush and go a little bit on the top, just because I do have a really greasy kind of nose. Now I'm really excited to use the new NYX contour palette. Diana actually sent me this in the mail, which I was so grateful and so happy that she did because she knows that it's like a harder product to get here in Canada. So I'm really excited to be able to try it out. I tested it one time really quickly when I already had makeup on and I just kind of like went over it, but this is my first time like legit using this fresh. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the yellow shade right here. Seems really pigmented. I know some people love this and some people hate this NYX contour palette, so I'm curious to see my thoughts on it, but like so far, like me trying it quickly the first time I did a while ago and then trying it now, I actually like it. I'm also going to take a little bit of the white powder and see how that brightens. Just a tiny bit of it. Yeah, so that really helps to brighten. So for bronzing, I think I'm going to take this shade right here. It's a nice, like pretty warmer, kind of neutral shade. So now for contouring, I'm going to take this shade right here. So far I do like this palette. It's not the most amazing quality ever, but I do like it. I think it's a good like drugstore affordable option. So for blush, I'm going to take this Jordana blush in the shade Sandalwood. It's just this really pretty kind of nude, light pinky peachy shade. And then to set that cream highlight we put and also kind of further highlight, we're going to use the Wet n Wild Fergie highlighter in the shade Hollywood Boulevard. It's this really gorgeous gold highlight. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to just further that cream highlight and use an oldie but a goodie. This is a product I haven't used in so long. It's the Sonia Kashuk Stick Cream Highlight in the shade Sparkling Sands. And this is actually a dupe for the Benefit Watts Up, and it's really, really gorgeous. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of that on my finger. It's more of a champagne highlight. A little bit of that on my nose, on the tip of my nose. And then, like I said, to highlight and further kind of set that cream highlight, we're going to use the Fergie Wet n Wild Hollywood Boulevard. So I'm just taking a little bit of that. So for some reason I'm not crazy about my contour, so I'm just going to try and take the Taupe blush by NYX, and I'm only going to take a tiny bit of it. Okay, so now moving on to the brows. I am going to do my brows off camera and then I'll be right back. So moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal Color Rich Fixing and Unifying Eyeshadow Primer. I really like this one. It's very similar to the MAC paint pot that I always use. To set that primer, just to make sure that the shadows we're putting on afterwards glide on super smooth, I'm going to take the yellow setting powder from the NYX contour palette, and I'm just going to set the entire eye. For this eye look, I want to do something very simple and kind of bright-eyed, so I'm just going to go for a super soft crease, but I am also going to be using the e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette. I'm super obsessed with this. I haven't even used it yet. I've just kind of swatched it, but it's so beautiful. It swatches amazing, so I'm hoping it works beautiful on the eyes as well. I actually got this from Superstore, if you are wondering, in Canada, because I got a lot of you guys asking me that question on Snapchat when I posted the swatches of this like a while back. So I am going to be putting this to use today. Like I said, I'm going to do something super simple, nothing too different or crazy, and just really like bright-eyed. So yeah, I'm excited to put this to use. Now, because in this palette it's pretty much all shimmer shades, I do want a nice kind of matte soft crease. I don't want to do like too deep of a crease or anything like that. So I think what I'm going to do is use one Morphe shadow for the crease. Now I know Morphe isn't technically drugstore because you can't purchase it at a drugstore, but it is extremely affordable. It's only literally $2 for the single pan. So to pick up a pan like this, it's only $2. So literally amazing price, and the quality is on point, and you can only get it online though. And I think I'm going to use this shade right here. I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my brush. This is the Morphe M504, which is a dupe for the Sigma E40. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. Like I said, I want a super like soft crease. Another thing that I'm going to do as well is I'm not going to take it on the inner corner of the crease. I'm going to keep it just on this outer area because I want a really bright-eyed effect. I want this inner area to be super like open. Then to blend it inwards, there's only leftover product on here. Then I will just kind of sweep it just so that it blends, but there's no actual like brown shade in there. So just to deepen it up a tad bit, I'm going to go in for this shade right here, which is very similar. It's just a little bit deeper than this shade we used, right? Now I will leave all the shade names on the screen or down below, so check that out if you want to know the specific shades. So with this RC Cosmetics flat brush, I'm going to take the white shade in this palette here, and I'm only going to take a tiny bit of it and just pop it right underneath here. So next I'm going to use this Sigma Cream Color E58 brush. I love this brush for packing on pigments or like metallic eyeshadows. I'm just going to wet it with a bit of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Setting Spray. And I think for this look I'm going to go ahead and take this beautiful pale gold right here. I think this is going to work well just because I used a golden highlight, so it's going to kind of correspond with that. So I'm just kind of loading that on my brush, and then I'll just use this mirror right here. Pack that on. Because we want that bright eye effect, what we're going to do is take that and really bring it up in this area. You know, this is also going to help widen your eyes, like make them look like more open and bigger. This is a really beautiful, like pale whitish gold. Now I'm going to take my favorite inner corner brush. This is the E46, and I'm going to take that same white shade we used. And actually, let me wet this brush just so we can get like a really metallic type of inner corner. I know some of you guys love that metallic bright inner corner and some of you guys don't. So it's all personal preference. Personally for me, I live for like a bright inner corner. Like I love that right there. And I'm also going to bring this white. I'm just going to take it down here. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit more of that first shade that we used and just kind of blend in the crease a little bit more just so that it's not washed out. I'm also going to take that in with a E47 by Sigma. I'm going to take that same first shade and just fluff it down here. So we're not going to do any winged liner for today, but I am going to apply some mascara and also some falsies. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. So for lashes, I am going to be using these Esquito lashes. These are not drugstore. They are a little bit pricey, but I do have a coupon for you guys to get 20% off. But the reason why I am choosing to use these lashes, so pretty much the only non-drugstore or affordable products was the Anastasia Dip Brow and these. But the reason why I'm choosing to use these is because they are the most perfect, like bright-eyed, dolly type of effect lash, and I absolutely love them. So I am going to be putting these to use. So to further that kind of bright eye effect, I am going to take the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and just apply it right in the inner waterline. Just put a little bit of extra mascara down there. Just because I really like my lower lash line, my lower lashes to be like bright and big. So now to set the entire face, I am just going to spray my face with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Setting Mist. This is going to help our makeup last longer, and it's also going to set that foundation that we put on the forehead and all over, the areas that we didn't actually set with powder. It's kind of going to help set it with the spray instead of powder. The spray is going to keep that dewiness, but it's still going to actually set it so that it lasts long on those of us who have oily skin. I am just obsessed with these Miss Dolly lashes by Esquito. Obsessed with them. So I will leave my coupon code for Esquito down below. So for the lips, I'm going to go ahead and use this Etsy Give Me Glow Vintage Mauve Liquid Lipstick. Now this isn't a drugstore product, but it actually is really super affordable. It's from Etsy, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. So that's pretty much it for this makeup look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give me a like, thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah. In terms of pigmentation, I don't like to just grab a ton and put it on. It's one of my tips for achieving like a non-cake face look. It just helps the makeup look turn out more natural when you do that.